This episode of Inside Golf Podcast is brought to you by Inside Sports Network.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Boston Capital, Twitter Steve on the Hold the Green podcast.
All right, we are live. Tapping birdie.
All right, Carson Young is here. 8% Lowry at 8K is that's like our favorite play on every slate. Low sevens. I think there's some guys in here we like.
Harris English at 7,300.
Why the fuck would I not bet Rory?
What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday night. It's your boy Capper with Twitterless Steve on the Hold the Green podcast for an amazing Sunday, a tout Sunday. Not only did Ludwig come in, USA stuffed Canada in a locker last night. It's been a great weekend. The Red Sox signed Bregman. I am in sports heaven this weekend, Steve. How are you, buddy?
Have the Patriots done anything good too to really cap off your weekend?
Why would you do that? That's not nice. Like I
don't know. I'm curious. Yeah, I mean, listen, you got the hockey coming through. Red Sox are back, apparently. I was bitching at you all day about Rory fucking McIlroy. We'll get to him.
You really were. You were so mad at Rory all day today.
A lot of people were mad at Rory. He was awful today. But no, we are not going to start that show off.
No negative, baby. All positive. All positive.
No, it is it's community. Hold the Green community win. You bet
Except
Ludwig.
For Cam, that fucking Brutus. What the hell was that?
Traitor.
No.
So Brutus, that's a Julius Caesar reference, right? Brutus is Julius Caesar reference, right? Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Well, there's Brutus and Judas. So, you go either way for traitors at that point. But he conveniently ducked tonight. This show.
Weird.
I know. Yeah, I mean, he technically doesn't even have to show his face. He probably can just, sit behind the curtain here and moderate the comments and make sure we don't say anything stupid to get us canceled. But no, he decided to not show his face. He faded Ludwig this week on the stat picks. We both had Ludwig on our stat picks. We both picked him. You had him one and done as well. We both bet him. That was awesome. And yeah, it was a great way to cap off this Sunday. That was a very, very satisfying outright win.
It really was. And when he missed that fucking bunny putt on 3 to save par after he was OB, was it 3 or 4? It was either 3 or 4 when he was 4. So when he was OB, stuck it to like fucking 4 feet and then missed the putt. I texted Pete because Pete tailed us, and I was like, "Yeah, we're done, bro." I was like, "That's over." I was like, "That was our spot. We're dead."
Yeah, and he bogeyed, I think, 5 as well. He had, I think, back to back. And then he parred. Did he miss a 6-footer on 6 for birdie?
Yeah.
But look, one of the reasons why I think you and I fell in love with Ludwig, and it's strange that he got the reputation of just being this Sunday loser last year. Remember that Swiss Open that he ended up winning that was his first professional win. Yeah. And I remember that tournament where, he was lingering. I think he was like 4 or 5 back at the turn. And Fitzpatrick looked like he was going to win it. And then Ludwig stuck one pretty close, like midway through the back 9. And he looked at his caddy and he's like, "Is it go time?" The caddy's like, "It's go time. Step on it." And Ludwig birdied like 4 of his last 5 holes to beat Fitzpatrick. Yeah. And we both said, this guy's a stud. This guy's a closer. This guy's going to be an absolute force. And it was really nice to finally see him come through down the back 9. Yeah, he missed that putt on 17, but a lot of nails, birdie putts. And that back 9 too, even with calmer conditions, that was the tougher 9. You saw a lot of guys screw that up all week. Oh, yeah. Get off to really fast starts on the front 9 and just really vomiting all of themselves. The back 9, he did not do that. He actually didn't reverse this today. Yeah, tore up the back 9 today. It was a very,
four birdies on the back 9. And man,
that's huge.
Jesus Christ, fucking when you texted me, so you're ahead of me. So I always put my phone down and away from me because I can feel the vibration. And I don't know if it's good or bad, but I just want to put it away from me and I'll grab it after the shot. And my daughter, 21-year-old, was home, and I was like, "Why does he have that club? Why does he have that club? That's too much club." My daughter's like, "What are you
Oh,
talking
the 7
about?"
wood.
And then I pulled up my phone and you said the same shit. I was like, why? Like, what are we doing? Like, it all worked out. But Jesus Christ, that was not a gimme 2-putt. And he hit it too hard and left it way too high up. And so he didn't even catch the break. That was almost a 7-footer. And we have lost so many bets on, never mind 7-footers, 4-footers. So I was absolutely just in knots watching that shit.
Well, I lost a bet on a couple of 4-footers today that we'll get to in a little bit, but so I actually still have yet to see that final putt. I turned around and I didn't want to look. I was just listening for the crowd noise at that point.
It was a no doubter.
It was a no doubter. Okay, that's good. So you knew it as soon as it left.
But CBS was fucking with the cameras, and they kept going back and forth. And I was like, no, I want the side view. I don't want that straight on view. I hate that straight on view because sometimes I lose the hole, and they click back to the side view. Thank Christ.
Well, we'll get to CBS in a little bit and what they did today, or what they refused to really show until hole 14. But no, great outright win. That is my second outright win of the year. I have
Tory Whisperer, baby.
I am the king of Torrey Pines. Listen, I hope every single tournament now is at that iconic, wonderful golf course that I love so much, because I have a lot of good memories of Torrey Pines. And I think I've hit 5 or 6 winners since I've started betting on golf at Torrey Pines. It's been extremely a friendly golf course for me. So it was nice to add another one, and it was nice to add one on a guy that I generally like. I really like Ludwig, really high of him. I mean, you accuse me of being biased towards the Swedish golfers anyways. This does not help my case. It doesn't help at all. Listen, but that was a good call we made. He slipped to 25-20 in the odds boards, and there was the illness stuff, and we said, look, this was the guy who, he was basically crowned by everybody to win Torrey Pines, ends up coming out on fire, and then just shit happened. So there was nothing else about the golf course that really said he couldn't play this place. We talked about it on the show. That was a great win for you and I. Suck it, Cam, you hater.
Suck it, Cam.
You contrarian. You got punished in the stat picks this week with, I think, -5. And you joined the list of everybody has faded somebody who has won. I think we all have done that this year, by the way.
No, I haven't done it yet.
All right, congratulations. You're one of the it's like a last man standing survivor contest.
Yeah, exactly.
At that point.
Yeah.
Yep. So because I picked I think I faded Rory. Everybody favored Rory and Pebble, and they ended up winning. And then Cam joins the list here.
I think Joey had him too.
Joey did. Joey he has a good lead in the stat picks, though. He had Nick Taylor at the Sony, so he's basically riding gravy at this point. But
yeah, he's fine other than his terrible baseball takes.
Yeah. When are you gonna start a baseball podcast with him, by the way?
I don't know. Yeah, we might. Maybe we will. Okay. I told you, I was a random text. I think it was Wednesday night. I was building my lineups, and fucking he tagged fucking Kyle in it too. And I'm like, get this aggressive text about Jeter versus Ortiz. I was like, where's this coming from?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right,
so
lead right.
Well, it would have been a bigger week for me if certain Northern Irishman actually decided to sack up at the greens this weekend.
Man, he was bad.
Did not. Rory McIlroy. So this is an incentive, by the way, to and actually we'll get to something we're going to be doing for you guys in a little bit. I actually have not discussed this with you, so you're just going to have to roll with it when I talk about it in a little bit.
Okay.
But apparently I have become, Andy has a lot of great stuff with the course conditions, everything. But apparently I also have become the unofficial ISN weatherman in the Discord. Just painstakingly looking at the wind finder, giving course condition stuff, and I've been getting up a lot of round score props to some good success. On Thursday, we were all about the overs because we just thought the books had set it a little too high. On Friday, we pounded some unders to some good success. And then today, the books made it kind of challenging over the weekend. The books reset all their the prices are basically where they should be, like 70.5, 71.5. Yeah. But they kept it the same as Saturday, which was kind of tough. And today the weather was just completely gettable. That's something Andy and I had talked about a lot on the podcast. As far as I mean, listen, I'm not on Twitter, but apparently there was a tone about this is going to be quote unquote
horrible narrative, Steve. Just say it correctly. A horrible narrative of that this was going to play harder than U.S. Opens. It was laughable.
I mean, I don't see any of that stuff. I saw the general take. Look, like if you don't watch a lot of this stuff and you don't have a wealth of memory of like just how these tournaments are over the years, it's very easy to get caught up in just a wave of propaganda of look how difficult this rough is. It's gonna play long and narrow.
Drop the golf ball in the rough shtick.
But like Torrey Pines, and this is why we didn't choose to do another preview. Like Torrey Pines, we're gonna look at basically the same things and same attributes every single year. It doesn't change. It's always long. It's always narrow, even if it's firm or it's soft a little bit. Yeah, I played longer this week, but it's the same kind of golf course. And what people forget though over the years, because we've seen golf courses that played extremely hard, like Riviera has played extremely hard, but the last couple of times they went there, these guys are just hitting the ball so far and so straight, and the equipment they use now is just it just doesn't matter.
That drive on 18 by Ludwig, beautiful. Oh my God, it moved in my pants. It moved. I was like, oh my God, that was amazing to nut up like that, knowing that he's got to make a birdie. And did you hear what he said after the round?
No, my wife was like, all right, that's great. Golf is over. You got to take care of the kids now. So I had to turn it on after that.
So I had my in-laws over, my sister-in-law, my mother came over. So I cooked for everybody. And so we had like a big family dinner. We try to do that on Sundays. And so I go back. They always know when I have someone because I will immediately leave the table after dinner. And I just go sit in the living room. And they're like, who you waiting on? And I was like, Ludwig. And but after the round, he's like, I just knew that I had to hit it. So I went up and I hit it as hard as I could. And I was like, the balls just to think about. I'm just gonna hit it as hard as I possibly can and hit the most perfect straight drive. Unbelievable. I love that kid, man. Love that kid. And he looks like Tom Brady.
Yeah. He's permanently now one of your boys now.
Oh, he's my guy. Oh, yeah. Yes. He looks like Brady. How could he not be?
Well, because you questioned him last year. It was mostly because he blew the Scottish Open. But no, now they hit an outright for you in very satisfying fashion. He's your guy. But, get back to the course condition stuff. It's just, these guys are just way too good now. And a lot of things we used to think about golf courses, unless you get cold and wind and rain like we got on Thursday, that's really the only time you can really just like punish these guys. So, and we kind of saw it today. The average score was 2 under. There was no wind. It was soft. And, you saw these guys tear it up. But so the angle is on today, though, was these round scores are probably about a stroke off where they should be. You guys should probably bet a lot of unders, and I tend to be kind of conservative a little bit because I still am caught with like, all right, well, it's still Torrey Pines and you can still definitely screw it up. But I bet can't lay under, which that was easy, under 71.5. But I also saw Rory McIlroy 70.5 minus 120. I'm like, that's gonna be easy. I just saw him miss every single putt on Saturday, hit the ball good, fine. Like he's gonna bounce back. This is one of those Sunday charges. And he then continued to miss every single putt. He hit the ball pretty good, but he ended up losing 6 strokes, I think, putting, 5.5 putting.
Jesus, was it
Saturday,
6?
Sunday. Oh, across the 2 days. God. But actually, it's probably was worse because I looked at what he did, I think on 13, and he ended up missing a 5-footer on 17 that would have got him over the hump there. And then, of course, hits it right in the water on 18, misses a 4-foot par putt at that point to completely screw me. Also, I had a big bet on a top 10 for Rory McIlroy at that point that completely shit the bed. Side note, by the way, I am officially done doing positionals. It is eating it's eating my profits. I'm just going to do outrights and round score props. That apparently is my lane now. Yep. We're just going to move on and do that. I think it's a combination of, I think pricing just isn't as good as what it used to be. I think these books know it. And, it forces me to go like, okay, do I really want to pay up For like plus 110, plus 120 for a guy like, or I end up like settling on guys. So I'm done doing that. But Rory McIlroy, thank you for putting a big dent in my profit this week. But otherwise, though, good week. Good week.
Yeah, it was a great week. Rory, I still somehow I didn't break even, but I did not lose a ton on DFS somehow with fucking Rory and Cam Davis almost locked and everything.
Cam Davis.
Cam Davis.
Not good. Or Rasmus. That was another bad call.
Yeah. So
funny enough, now I know. I bet the outright and I bet DFL. So there you go.
That's right. That's right.
Bookend it right there.
Yeah, I love it. Rasmus did not look great, but he's in the field this week. So, all right. So I guess look, Ludwig, like we said, fucking got him at double the number. We gave him a pass for the sickness, and it was a beautiful thing. Beautiful weekend. It's nice. It's nice to roll into Mexico, and I feel like we've done pretty well in Mexico.
I think you have. Before we go to Mexico, though, can I have one couple coverage takes though?
Yeah, of course. Come on.
All right. So choose your fighter. Okay.
Oh God.
You have the Torrey Pines CBS broadcast today that just forgot about Ludwig until hole 14.
So stupid.
He was just sitting there like 8 under all day in the top 5. And it actually reminded me of when Brooks won at Phoenix in like 2015. And this was before he became like Brooks. They didn't
put him on until like 16.
Right. And he's like slowly going to the leaderboard and like he gets the lead and they still don't have a camera on him.
Yeah.
And the exact same thing happened today. Yeah. They chose to just follow the corpse of the Denny McCarthy and Patrick Rogers who are doing absolutely nothing pretty much.
I knew those losers
all
were
day.
Fucking lose.
Yep. Or Cantlay. And I mean, obviously you want to follow Scotty around who nice bounce back today from after the 76. Sure. But it's like they only have like 4 cameras out there.
It's so stupid.
You're CBS Sports. What are we doing?
So stupid.
I know. And then
it was horrific.
It was. And there was too much Tiger on the. I understand people want to see Tiger, but literally there's like tension down the back 9 and they're going right to the booth to a Tiger. And I know because he just lost his mom.
Yeah, it's his tournament. He lost his mom. I'm giving him a, you know me, I am the first one to scream about too much Tiger on my TV. I am giving them 100% pass on that.
All right.
Because he almost looked like he was going to cry a couple times away. Nance, man, what an interviewer. He knew exactly what to say to bring some emotion out of Tiger. I was like, that's an A+ interview. Like, I think he was trying to get Tiger to cry.
That's what
he's like,
does.
You remember when she drove you to all these tournaments? I was like, come on, man, let the man breathe, man. He's like, let him, like, don't do this to him.
That's why he's been doing this, what, 45, 50 years? Yeah, Nance is a pro's pro. He's looking a little rough these days, but
Nance is an asshole. I don't care. Nance is still an asshole.
All right.
I told you about the burnt toast story. I told you about the toast story.
I know. We know the burnt toast story. All right. So that's one fighter. Or Fox Sports, who decided to tape delay the biggest live event they have in Adelaide, which started at 9:00, which so I was watching and I was hanging around the Discord because I was preparing the Mexico Open. And then everybody's talking, and then you got Mexico City, who's from Australia. You got Dave, who's in Canada.
Mexico hit the double-double, by the way. Shout out Mexico.
He woke up today to Ludwig winning. That is a very good surprise. Yeah, but they were talking about all these guys, doing something of course. I'm like, wait, like Adelaide's not on yet. And then I turned it on, just expecting, okay, well, maybe like it's on the Fox app, like they did. Nope, not there. I turned it on. They were an hour behind and they were trying to play it off as we haven't started yet. It's like, this is why it's so hard to take you seriously. There's a lot of reasons for it. It's so hard to take you seriously. And if you just don't give a crap about your product and actually giving ways to give people live content, like at that point, it's like, okay, well, I can just look at my leaderboard and know what happened. Why should I even watch this thing? Like, it doesn't matter. And your shitty app is still terrible. Can't track anything, but I can at least know that, hey, like this birdie that Brooks Koepka just made on 3, it's not going to mean shit in about an hour because he's going to double a hole or something. So,
well, I didn't even know it was on delay until I think I texted something about, I don't know, Lahiri missing a horrible eagle putt. And then you texted me out of the Discord, like, it's on delay for an hour. I was like, oh, get the fuck out of here. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like,
I know.
unreal.
Now, Dave makes a good point that it could be Fox's fault, but Liv is still negotiating this contract with Fox, and they still.
Well, it
have
doesn't sound like Liv's going to be around much longer, based on what Tiger was saying in the booth with Jim.
You missed it then. As part of the tape delay coverage, apparently the big news of Adelaide this year was that they re-upped through 2031 to go there. So apparently there's some miscommunication between both leagues, I think, or just wild propaganda probably for Liv.
Wild. My guess is wild propaganda. So speaking of the SNL 50, by the way, thank you for everybody watching us instead of SNL 50. So Steve, who was your? Did you watch SNL growing up?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay, so my group was like Fally, Spade, Myers. So you were probably what, like right after me then. So what?
No, I watched SNL during that group. You know, Phil Hartman. Farley, all that group. And then you got the, like it was kind of rough for a couple years, but you got Will Ferrell, who's look, like he's got a lot of classic characters. Jimmy Kimmel's kind of an asshole, but he still had some good stuff too.
Jimmy Kimmel. You mean
Jim Brewer.
You mean Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, yeah. Jim Brewer.
Jim Brewer was great as Joe Pesci. He was great.
Chris Kattan. He had some fun stuff
Monkey
too.
Boy.
Mango, Mr. Peepers. Yeah.
Mr. Peepers.
So, and then I kind of stopped watching.
Oh, I haven't really watched it fucking forever. Yeah.
It's like The Simpsons. Like I used to watch The Simpsons a lot. I haven't watched Simpsons in probably like 20 years.
But like the SNL 50 was nice. Like kind of like just Steve Martin killed. John Mulaney came out, killed for like fucking 2 minutes. And you know what's crazy is it was Paul Simon and that Sabrina Capita girl. Like the new hot like artist or whatever. They did a fucking amazing opening. It was crazy. It was so good. Like they sounded so good together. I just figured she was like some pop star who like did everything in the lab. But no, she sounded good live. And so I'm gonna finish watching it after.
Which SNL alum opened the show? Because there was some debate.
It was Steve Martin. It was Steve Martin, and he fucking killed. He was great.
Okay, good. That was a solid choice. So, before we move to Mexico, though, I just want to give one shout out here. So obviously we're happy. Actually, there's two things that we got to cover before the Mexico. Obviously we're happy. Obviously we hit Ludwig. There's always the other side of the coin. Brian Kirshner had Maverick McNeely, and
so he gets a better fucking loser.
Well, no. Here's
he had no fucking shot until he went nuclear on that fucking front nine.
Okay,
fuck out of here.
All I'm gonna say is he wasn't on my radar. And clearly that was a good pick because McNeely he had a 3-shot lead on the back nine. And you and I have been on that side of the coin a lot where you have this kind of contrarian pick who should win
the loser capper.
And then chalk hits and everybody's happy and you're the one holding the bag. And all I'm saying
I get that.
That was a good pick. He should be commended for it. He gets nothing out of it. No. But if he's going to make picks like that, the outright's coming soon. That's all I'm going to say. So
I think he luck boxed into it. But Dave's right. Year of the loser, right? I texted you that how many times over the last 2 days? I was like, if any of these losers win, like I'm just going to start betting on my losers. Like Fleetwood's winning this year. All these guys are going to win. But no, a winner came through. So it's not the year of the loser yet, Dave.
No, it is not. So. And then the second thing that we got to do. So obviously, we talk a lot about Discord and everything that goes on there. Well, that's behind our paywall at Inside Sports. Yep. And there's a lot of great things that are happening there. Obviously, we have a lot of great content. If you sign up for a premium subscription, we got Ball Knowers After Dark. A lot of great stuff. Great banter between Kyle and Kobe and Rishi and Andy on Wednesday nights. You got Ryan Barros and Andy's show. There's a lot of, we got Andy's article, staff picks, which I am killing you all, by the way, in. Thank you very much. There's a lot of great content, but,
long.
What's that?
I said long season.
Yeah. So, and then there's our show, which is free for everybody, free on YouTube, free on podcasts. And, our
that first one's for free. Free. Come get a little taste.
Yeah, so we're basically the gateway drug, kind of like an Inside Sports. We're the front people to get you in, introduce you what we're all about. And our YouTube numbers, we're really happy with the YouTube numbers. But when we restarted this podcast, we had to start from scratch.
Man.
We lost our entire subscriber base, and it's
Yep.
we're pretty happy with the numbers where they are. But we don't ask a lot, but it would really help us out if you guys went to Apple and left us a 5-star review and a review. Like it really does help our show out. And as a carrot to do this, and I'm speaking mostly to people who are on the fence and have not signed up for ISN yet, and just listen to us, and we're very happy that you do. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of great stuff that happens once you become an insider, and especially in the Discord. Like my betting card is there. We have great DFS minds. It's not just us; it's everybody who's an insider. They're all really sharp too. You got my weather reports. We're just throwing around bets all day. It really is a great place to be. So as an incentive to help our show out by leaving a review, we are offering for 2 people who leave a review 1 free month of ISN Insider subscription. So all you got to do is it's going to run between now and the Tuesday of Bay Hill. You got 2 weeks to do it. All you got to do is go to Apple Podcasts, go to Hold the Green, and leave us a 5-star review and write a little review for us. Say what you like about us, just like anything like that helps us. And then the Tuesday Bay Hill, we will randomly select 2 people who are not currently ISN members, and you will get 1 month free. And we are pretty sure that once you see what we have to offer, you're gonna want to keep doing it. I'm telling you guys, like it's a lot of great stuff in there. So obviously, if you are an ISN subscriber already, if you guys want to leave us a review, you like us, that helps us too. But if you're on the fence right now about joining, becoming an insider, leave a review, see what it's all about. We'll give you a free month, and you won't regret it. So it's going to run between now and next Tuesday, or Tuesday Bay Hill. We'll remind you guys a lot, but you won't regret it. So, help us out. That we really appreciate it. We do a lot of work for you guys. Obviously, we gave you some winners this week. So definitely, as Dave says, who is the president of the Discord, it really is insane content. 10 out of 10. Rishi's, it's not just golf, by the way. There's tennis bets floating out there. Everybody is freaking out about the Daytona 500. I just lost a guy. He flipped over in horrible fashion.
And we told everybody to bet USA too. We told everybody to bet USA last night too. Fuck Canada.
That's true.
We cashed those bets too.
That's true. So, all right. Let's finally get to Mexico.
Right.
We are a half hour
Mexico,
in.
baby.
No touting. Yeah. So, and
Mexico
honestly, there's not
time.
really a lot to talk. I mean, I have 20 slides, but we're kind of going to breeze through it because like the last couple tournaments where we had like Torrey Pines and Pebble, and like, there's a lot of history and there's a lot of little nuances about this golf course. This one, not really a whole lot to it. So this is Vedanta Vallarta. Obviously very beautiful. It's a resort course. It's in Puerto Vallarta. You got the mountains in the background. You got palm trees. You got this river right here. Like, it's your typical resort course. Now I want to bring up, this is the regular scorecard of Vedanta. It's the Nuevo course. It's Spanish. All this is in meters right here. What I want you to focus on, though, is how crazy. This is a Greg Norman design, by the way. How crazy this back nine is. So it goes from 12 to 18, par 5, par 3, par 5, par 4, par 5, par 3, par 5. There are 4 par 5s over the last 7 holes. Greg Norman loved his par 5s when he built this golf course. There are in total 6 par 5s on the golf course. So 6 par 4s, 6 par 3, or yes, I'm doing the math wrong. So
the math.
There's 6 par 5s on the golf course. Now, for this tournament, though, the Mexico Open, they convert number 4 into a par 4. I mean, it only plays in meters here. It's 550 yards from the back tees. It plays only about 500 yards total, so it's a long par 4. Same thing with number 16. Plays almost 600 yards from the back tees here. It again plays only 500 yards though. So So this is a Greg Norman design, like I mentioned, built in 2015. They had a 22 renovation. Other Greg Norman designs that they have, El Chameleon Mayakoba, former home of the Worldwide Technologies Championship, a bunch of other names that used to be. I think it was
lost
the
money
OHL
on Bryson
Classic.
there.
What's that?
I lost money on Bryson there.
Oh, that's when they transitioned to Live, by the way.
No.
Yes.
Which is the course that he played in Mexico that I fucking
Chapultepec.
Chapultepec.
I lost money on that. Was before we did a show. We bought.
Yeah.
So I had Bryson in 2020. This is before COVID, and then I think Patrick Reed ended up winning that thing.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, that was a bad beat. So, but no, we're actually going to see Chapultepec later on in the Live schedule. By the way, so Dave, yes, you are correct. This is a par 71. The regular scorecard for the guests though is a par 73 because it's completely crazy. So par 71, 7,436 yards, average green side about 6,000 to 7,000 square feet. GCSA doesn't give that on there. I just did some quick calculations of some areas of greens. It's about 6,000, 7,000 square feet on average. Pretty typical. This is a resort course. Typically the greens on a resort course tend to be a little bigger because more resorts to play there. Yep.
Gotta hit him.
Yeah. Average fairway width about 40 yards. Some fairways are really wide for, between like 30 and 35 yards, but I'll show you a couple examples a little bit. The agronomy though. So this is past Polym season. So it is wall to wall past Polym greens, past Polym rough, 2.5 inch past Polym rough. So there are only a select number of golf courses in the PGA Tour that have past Polym. For example, Mayakoba, Corrales Punta Cana, Grand Reserve Puerto Rico Open, and El Cardenal Diamante. Also, the Ocean Course at Kiowa has past Polym
playing
green.
this week.
What's that?
Is Ashkay playing this week?
Akshay is playing this week. He is a very good golfer on past Polym, in his career. Here's the problem though with the PGA Tour golf courses. The first 4 I mentioned are usually fall swing events where the PGA Tour decides, hey, no one's really paying attention. We shouldn't bring our shot link data. Who cares at that point? Something, language barrier, something, internet connectivity, something. Despite the fact these are all like 5-star resorts that have plenty of capabilities to actually deliver and upload all this data, but they choose not to for whatever reason. So there's no actual strokes gain data for whatever reason, which is why this is so stupid that they don't bring this stuff to it. We're in Mexico with the same issues that all these other courses have with language barrier and foreign country. Yet we have shot link this week. Fucking hypocrites.
Beautiful.
But the problem though is, like, let's say you build a model. Let's say, okay, I want to do strokes gain on past Polym. That's a very simple strategy. We want to find good bent grass putters, want to find good Bermuda putters. Well, if you try doing that, the only results you're going to get is this event. That's it. There is no strokes gained by category at any of these other events right here. So if you want, who won? What, Byron? Fuck. That sucks. So yeah, you made the top 10. Nope. Lost all my bets. I went over. That's fine. That's not a big deal. So, what was I gonna say? So if you want past Polym, guys, if you're building a model, you should just do strokes gain total at all of these golf courses right here. So because that basically can approximate how good you are these past one golf courses, because this is a different grass, you don't see it a whole lot. Or you could also go to Data Golf, where there also is some DP World Tour sites that have past Polym, which actually do have some strokes gained by categorical data. For example, Nikolai Højgaard right here in the field this week has a lot of distance. Here are some examples of some past Polym golf courses they played in the DP World Tour. A lot of really good results. He won the Ras Al Khaimah Championship here. Got a T4 the Canary Islands at Gulf Costa Dehe. I think that's the one actually Garrick Higo won, by the way. This one right here.
Fuck, I forgot about that guy.
Yep. Yas Golf Links in Abu Dhabi. That also has past Polym. So yeah, a lot of these DP World Tour guys, if you spend a lot of time in the Middle East or the Canary Islands and they played a couple tournaments there, they have some past Polym experience there. So, or his brother Rasmus, also some pretty good past Polym experience. A second at the Ras Al Khaimah, 6th at the Cotter Masters, 6th of the Almond Open. And he's actually a pretty good putter on Pass Polym here. Much better than his brother. So
Interesting.
I remember actually when I hit Eric Van Rooyen at El Cardinal a couple years ago, I actually did something like this. I looked at what he did on the DP World Tour, and I noticed he did very well at the Oman Open a couple times. I'm like, all right, so this guy's what's it?
I've been to that hellhole. Holy shit. They have a golf course there?
They do have a golf course there. I think it's
God. That place. I've been in a lot of scary places. Fucking Oman was scary.
Yeah, it's either Al Mouj or Al Hamra is the Oman Open one. But he had done well there. So I'm like, okay, well, he is competent on Pass Polym, and he showed up and he won. So that's another avenue too, not just the 4 PGA Tour golf courses they played that doesn't have strokes gained by category. You can also go to some of these guys who played over in Europe on the DP World Tour. You can see some of those results too. So, scoring average. So this is fairly easy golf course. Last 2 years played over a stroke under par, and this is with really shitty fields, by the way. So, you got
Cam Champ was in the field. It was not a shitty field.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. John Rahm won here, so apparently it can't be a shitty field either.
No, can't be a shitty field.
So, no. But one of the easiest courses on the PGA Tour last year played well under a stroke under par. If you adjust for field strength, played about a shot and a half, shot and a quarter under par. And a lot of this too is like if we actually got like a competent field in this event, like if we took the Torrey field and played here, I bet this would go up to like -2 is my instinct. Because there are some ways you can actually get in trouble here, but this is all because just a lot of bad players play this tournament, and that's why I think the scoring is so down. And actually, when you look at the scoring splits between Thursday and Friday and the weekend, it's like a stroke. It's over a stroke difference because you clear out most of the bad players, and then the good players.
That's a huge difference.
It is. Like I think last year, I think that's the scoring average the first 2 days, and there really wasn't a lot of weather concerns, was about like 0.9 under par, and then Saturday, Sunday played like 2 under par on Saturday and like a shot and a half under par on Sunday. Like it's just because you clear out the clowns at that point who just can't play, and once you get competent players on this course, there's just not a lot to it. So, and you can also see it too in like the difficulty categories. Really, nothing on its face is difficult at Vedanta Vallarta. Pretty easy off the tee. We'll get to. There's only one little thing about it that makes it kind of difficult that we'll get to in a little bit, but one of the easiest off the tee as far as difficulty compared to other golf courses of the PGA Tour. Not all that difficult approach shots either. It's about average to easy, the 3 years it's played. Around the green, though, very easy, and I think that applies to a certain guy that we'll talk about in our model in a little bit, why he's so good at Pass Polym and here. But one of the easiest around the green conditions in the PGA Tour and putting. It played difficult in 2022. I remember back in 2022, I made the note about the renovation on the course notes. I think they were scrambling to get the greens ready in time, and so they might not have been all that great to putt on. But the last 2 years, once they fixed that, pretty easy to putt on these greens. So that's that. Off the tee. So let me kick it to you. I've done a lot of talking. What do you think about this place as far as like off the tee, like the stereotype, what you want here?
It just wasn't. Bomb it. It's the same thing that we always talk about at this course. It's just bomb it. It doesn't matter. There's no penalties anywhere. It's fucking fine. Jake Knapp won the goddamn tournament.
Well, so I agree with everything you say except for one thing we'll get to in a little bit. But yes, correct. It's bombs away at this place. Average driving distance, 296, 300. It's one of the, longest driving golf courses in the PGA Tour last year. The driving accuracy rates, though, also match it, though. One of the highest rates of fairways hits in the PGA Tour. That's the Pass Polym effect. These fairways are really wide there, but when the ball hits the ground on Pass Polym, it basically stops. So there's not a lot of rollout. So there's not an opportunity of a ball once it hits the turf, like rolling into something. It's basically going to stop. So as long as you find short grass with your tee shot, you're probably it's going to stay there. As far as the missed fairway penalty, it's about average. though, on the PG Tour. Last year's 28 out of 43, so a little easier than average. 26 out of 45 in 2023. The rough penalty is not that much, though. There was a spike last year in it. I'm not sure if maybe they grew up the rough a little bit, but it's only 2.5 inch past Polym, so I can't imagine it was. Maybe that's just kind of a fluke. But here, though, the penalty rank for missed fairways, if you do miss a fairway at Vedanta, there is a relatively high chance you'll incur a penalty stroke here.
Okay.
So now we're going to...
It's so hard to miss a fucking fairway.
Well, so here's the thing. There's a lot of water hazards off the team of golf course. So here's hole number one.
Just like TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah, so here's hole number 1. Here's hole number 15 here. You got the big lake. If you miss right here on 1, you'll go in the water. Now, the thing is, though, a lot of these holes, though, where you're aiming, like, you're not even thinking about the water. Like, you're basically seeing guys bail out completely over to the left. Like, if you're a pro and you hit it in the water on 1, like, you just hit a horrible shot.
You're doomed.
Yeah. 15, though, that is a little bit more of a difficult tee shot because you do have these 2 centerline bunkers right here. So, it's 318 to carry this one. It's about like 305 to carry this one. So you generally want to avoid going to the left, to the right here. So if you want to take on the left here to avoid the bunkers, you might hit in the water here. So that's one area. There's a lot of water, though, around the front 9. So 6 hole here, you got a water hazard over to the left. The 3rd hole right here, this is where Jake Knapp rope hooked one in the final round. We're like, this guy's going to choke. Yeah. That's what happened. One of the worst tee shots, for a leader I've seen in a while.
It was no Mito, right, but it was bad.
Yeah, it was. There's the drivable par 4, 7th with the river over to the left here. You got the 8th hole where, again, this is a hole where you're not even really aiming down the right side. But if you do miss right, then you have the water hazard here. This is the par 3 5th, but there's water all around that hole. So, yeah, there's a lot of water, especially on the front 9 here. And even there's some holes, too, that just don't have a lot of water to it. They just have these little mangrove forests, if you miss right. So, this is cut off here, but on the 2nd hole, there's basically, if you hit it in the forest over here on the left, it's unplayable. 16, if you hit it over here in the forest, it's unplayable. The par 3 17th, this has a water green side. And then the 18th here, this is actually where we saw a couple rules controversies last year on the 18th. So there was the boundary fence. Do you remember this? Maybe I actually think I might have mentioned it last year on the last show. So there's the boundary fence down the right here. And in the 2nd round, S.H. Kim hit one OB.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that. Yep.
But then he tried to claim that, he wanted to hit the ball left-handed from where he was going to drop it.
Yeah, that's right.
He wanted to hop the fence, but he then claimed TIO for that.
Right.
And they allowed him to drop it in the rough in play for his 3rd. Now, he still pumped it out of bounds for his 2nd shot because that's karma.
Yeah. Karma.
At that point.
Although we say that, but Scotty on that with that fucking when he landed on the other tee box and was like, "Oh, the sign's in my way," he got no karma for that. Like, that's what makes me mad.
Yeah,
he's 100% right on his.
That one's just lucky he had such a shitty shot. They just end up there because
it's so fucking annoying.
I know it's dumb, but then you have Sammy Valimaki, which is what Dave just brought up right here. Is literally the exact same situation. The ball ends up resting right against the fence here, and then they didn't give him relief. And apparently, there was some technicality why he didn't get relief, but S.H. Kim got relief. It's pretty bullshit, if you ask me. But yeah, Valimaki also got punished over here. So yeah, there are, even though relatively wider fairways and it's past Polym and just on its face, it's for bombers. You can. There's a lot of room for them. If you do spray it pretty far off wide, if you do miss a fairway, there's a higher than likelihood chance you will incur a penalty stroke against, mostly because of water and some out of bounds areas. So moving on with the show, approach shot statistics. So, kind of average green and regulation rate, despite the fact it's not all that tough of approach shots or relatively large greens, I would attribute the lower than expected green and regulation rate with just the shitty field. Just not very good ball strikers in this field. It's probably being dragged down by just inferior iron players who are in this field.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I would imagine, again, if we took a field like the Torrey Pines field, put it here, I think this green and regulation rate would be like 72%. It would go way up. Like they would tear this place up. But as far as difficulty of approach shots, less than 150, not very difficult. Big targets, you're hitting from past Polym. If you have a wedge in hand, it's pretty easy. But as we'll get to in a little bit in the next slide, there's not a lot of shots under 150. Over 150, it could be a little difficult because there can be some areas of, some water hazards around the green that you got to contend with. But overall, though, not very difficult approach shots just on its face. I think some of the difficulty is just the fact that a lot of these guys are just bums. Get into the proximity buckets, though. I love seeing something like this where basically they're just as only 20% of your shots are from under 150. It's pretty much non-existent at this golf course.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is basically 150 and above. 78% of your shots on average the first 3 years are over 150. And there's a higher concentration rate than 175 plus. So longer golf course, past Polym, not a lot of roll out there. That's why you see a lot of longer approach shots at this golf course. So that makes it easy, though. Basically, a lot of these sites, like Data Golf, for example, if you want to do the strokes gain per shot, they do like 150, 200, 200 plus. You basically combine all those and you just have all the coverage you need, pretty much. Or on BetSperts too, that you can break it out by range. I think it's in 50 yard buckets, 50 to 200, 200 plus. So that makes it very easy to do a model. It's when you start getting like 125 to 175, like that's when you're starting crossing a little bit. It can be, kind of a little difficult. So around the green, very easy conditions around the green. Super easy. If you're chipping off the past Polym, it's one of the easiest on the golf in the PGA Tour to gain strokes relative to other places. Same thing for the rough. There just isn't a lot of rough. It's past Polym rough. Ball sits up kind of nicely in past Polym rough. It doesn't really sink to the bottom. It's only 2.5 inches. The bunkers too. Some Greg Norman golf courses that we saw at Adelaide this week or TPC San Antonio, if they got some pretty steep faces, flat bottoms, some of those Greg Norman golf courses with those bunkerings, it can be a little tough. Not here. It's very easy getting out bunkers here. And again, I'll talk about it in a little bit, but we think about a guy like Victor Hovland. Has won a lot on past Polym. He's won Yas Golf Links. He's won twice in Mayakoba.
There's no around the green.
Well, yeah, I mean, because my theory is that guys who are really bad around the green chip in off of past Polym, because the ball sits up, a little nicer, so it's a little easier to clip it. But with how grabby the past Polym is on the greens, there's more, there's more room for error because the ball's going to check quicker. Mm-hmm. So let's say you hit it a little hot, the ball's not going to roll all that far from the green like it would at another place. And then you got maybe like a 6-7 footer back. If you're a good putter, you're going to hit that. Or if the only time you really can get in trouble is if you hit it kind of fat, but and past Polym, it's hard to do that because it doesn't, it's pretty easy to get the ball off the turf. So that's why you see guys who struggle around the green be okay and actually say oh, he actually scrambled well this week. Well, it's past Polym. It kind of dumbs it down a little bit for everybody. Yeah. So, putting again, there just isn't really a lot here. I think in 2022 there was something going on with the greens where they weren't in great condition. Last 2 years though, it's been very easy putting at these surfaces. So again, not a lot here. Comp courses, we talk about driver heavy,
Congaree, I can see that.
Quail
Hollow.
Basically places where you would expect guys who drive it pretty far would do well. So Harding Park, Country Club at Jackson, Torrey Pines, Corrales, Congaree, Quail Hollow, Cays Valley, Chapultepec. There you go. And then as far as your predictive course fit model, what works there? The only thing that stands out really is just it's the farther you hit it off the tee is more predicted to success at Vedanta. There's exceptions.
Head scam champ.
Yeah, there's exceptions to this, but as we're going to go through this leaderboard in a little bit, there's a lot of length, to a lot of these guys at the Mexico Open doing well. Case in point, Jake Knapp.
CT Pan, that's a weird one.
Yeah, he's an exception. He had he did pretty good. Shorter hitter, but I think he has a relatively decent career on past Polym. But he also did all of his damage like around the green and putting. Like didn't really gain a lot off the tee. Didn't really gain anything with approach shot. It was really he had a all world like scratch. He probably chipped in a couple times, is my guess, or maybe put in for the fringe. So that's where that was. But otherwise, though, Jake Knapp and Steven Yeagers, Patrick Rogers, Eric Van Rooyen, Chan.
Yeagers another cocksucker who sucked over the weekend for me.
Yeah, he did. And then Bobby McIntyre, he's not the longest hitter, but
he's long enough. Yeah,
he's long enough.
He's not like a short knocker.
Sammy Valamaki's long enough. So yeah, a lot of length here. So Carson Young. That's, I think, the curious case about Carson Young, because Carson Young, very short hitter, accurate, good ball strike, relatively okay iron player, terrible around the green, awful around the green. But Carson Young's really good at past Polym golf courses. Like even like here, Corrales, excuse me, I think El Cardinal as well.
Oh yeah,
did well there. I think it was either last fall, the year before that, just did really good. For whatever reason, loves past Polym. I wish Cam was here. And, he would love this right now. I think it's because he's so bad around the green that it just ruins him at some other places. But because that just is de-emphasized this week, he's pretty fine for the most part. So that's a guy where if, there's the bomber narrative at this place. I agree with that. But you will find like Nate Lashley or Carson Young or like Andrew Putnam, shorter hitters that just, for whatever reason, just like playing on past Polym surfaces, maybe like putting there. They just have good success at here or Corrales or Puerto Rico. So that might be an opportunity like in DFS pot, where, because everybody's going to be like bomber, distance. But if you see a guy that has a pretty consistent track record on past Polym, because listen, Corrales is a big boy golf course. That's like 7,600 yards. Grand Reserve Puerto Rico Open. That's a long golf course too, where you would think it again, like if you have to predict a mile, it's like bomber. For whatever reason, they like playing on past Polym. So that might be an opportunity to maybe
Novak. Is Novak playing this week?
I don't think so, because I think he's in all the signature events, but I have to check.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now we're going to get to 2023. So we got Finau wins at 24 under. John Rahm with 21 under. I think Finau went off at like 7-1, 8-1, and Rahm was like plus 250.
Yeah, it was like 3-1.
And then, funny enough, though, so this is what happens. This is basically what happens when you put really elite players at Vedanta in really good conditions. These guys just separate. And then you got everybody else punched, 19, 18, 16 under. Kind of like actually this year, because last year's field was garbage. I don't think really it was. I think Finau finished outside the top 10. But otherwise, everybody kind of just congregated in like this area here. It's funny to see in 2023 where you have two premium players separate, and then everybody just like bunched in the high to mid teens again. Makes me kind of wonder if is that like the ceiling at this place?
Yeah,
possibly.
Probably.
Yeah, but you got Brandon Wu, who, as Dave pointed out,
I like his brother better.
Dylan Wu,
Dylan,
they're not brothers. But Brandon Wu is really good on past Polym. You got Akshay here, Eric Cole, Austin Smotherman, who's awful. He's terrible at golf.
Smotherman, Taylor,
your boy Cam Champ, Patrick Rogers, Joseph Bramlett, Dave's boy Harry Hall here. That's going to get them all excited. Alejandro Tosti, just big bombers, guys with a lot of length. This is a lot where this narrative comes from. Even like a Ben, you can see like Ben Taylor here hit 39% of his fairways, finished T8. Joseph Bramlett hit 44% of his fairways, T10. Like it just driving accuracy, as long as you avoid the penalty areas, don't matter really at this place. And then 2022, John Rahm beats Tony Finau and Kurt Kitayama, 3 bombers. Brandon Wu again, by the way.
So
very gonna pass Polym. The dearly departed Davis Riley, who is no longer with us.
Did he die for real?
No. I'm kidding. He's awful now. He's one of the worst players in PGA Tour.
That's fine. I was holy shit. I didn't realize he died.
No, he has a 2-year exemption because he won Colonial last year somehow. By the way, won Colonial, like a firm, windy, difficult golf course, wins that. He's terrible though, but he finished 5th. Cam Champ here, who I think you bet who should have won this tournament.
Should have, but he fucking blew up on somewhere on the back 9, overshot into a bunker, and then proceeded to like fucking 4-putt or some garbage.
Yeah. Another guy who's no longer with us but didn't die, Aaron Wise, finished T6.
Oh, he was the kid who went for the mental health thing, right?
Yeah, he's never come back. I think he just, I don't think he wants to play pro golf.
Soft ass fucking generation.
I don't think he's made it. I don't think he's built for pro golf. Probably.
I don't think he's built for life. If he can't figure out pro golf, he's not built for life. Like, oh, playing professional golf is so tough. Oh, the travel and the playing of a goddamn game. Like, unreal how soft some of these rich cunts are. It's amazing. Like, I wish nothing but the worst for somebody who has that mental fucking weakness. I really do. Really, really do. I don't care if his parents are mean. I don't care if anything. I don't care. Like, if you can't play professional golf for a living because it's too hard, you can go fuck yourself and get off my planet.
Okay. Well, I don't endorse anything what you said. I wish the best for Aaron Wise. Okay, wherever you are, buddy.
Okay. Listen, I take mental health. I take mental health very seriously. You know I do. But that type of weak shit is a different animal.
Wise was really good for like a 2-year period, and then I think he lost confidence in his swing. Maybe got the driver yips, and just that was it. So, Alex Smalley, who has been playing pretty good, who was a subject for a little bit of Discord controversy, I think on Saturday night when I dropped my rankings. He finished T6, and Patrick Rogers again. So I think Patrick Rogers, 3 straight years inside the top 10.
Oh, he didn't win. Vallarta. So weird.
Yeah.
He didn't win.
So now we're getting to my model.
Those announcers today, they're like, oh, he looks very calm. Looks like he can actually close today. And I was like, there's no shot he's closing today.
No, there's a reason why his over-under, I think, was 73.5.
Yeah.
So what did he end up at? What did he shoot 73? He might have went under. I think he finished 8 under for the tournament. So he might have actually gone under on that. But all right. So my model. So I put on the Discord. If you go to BetSperts right now, if you use promo code Inside Golf, you can get a 25% discount on sign up for BetSperts Golf. I recommend doing that too. I never was a model guy because I just thought the stats that a lot of these aggregators would put out are kind of shitty. And like, for example, when I saw one where they said Pebble Beach was Bermuda, I'm like, well, I can't rely on this. I'm not going to build my models here. I'm just going to rely on something else. I can verify though that the stuff that they have on BetSperts, I've audited it. It's very good. It's
amazing.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. So Andy put out his model though, and he had Alex Smalley, and that I think got some chuckles out of
Christ,
people.
Here we fucking go with Smalley again.
So then I do my model, and we model very similarly. And what I did was I beefed up the off the tee stuff specifically with some distance and driver heavy golf courses with a fair amount of penalty shots too, to kind of get those, because there's a lot of water here. But overall though, not a lot of rough penalty. I focused on my approach play, mostly long iron approach shots and putting, because this relatively easy golf course, you can't make a lot of putts here. So I focus on that. I also put in performance on pass Polym. Just, you can look at my model and you see what I did. But lo and behold, surprise, Alex Smalley's number 1 in the model. Why is Alex Smalley number 1 in the model? Well, it's very easy to be king turd in this field, and you don't have to do a whole lot.
And was it in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king?
What's that? Yes.
In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Yes. But Alex Smalley also has a very good track record on past Polym. He's got, like he's not the longest guy, but he's got enough pop. And he's been playing pretty good lately. I use a lot of recent form too, and he's been pretty good. He's been hitting his irons pretty good. So I'm not that surprised that this model, based on my input,
Ghost Jammer already called him chalk for the week. Already,
he is going to be chalk. He's going to be extremely. I would be extremely careful with Alex Smalley this week.
Yeah.
He's number one. It does not mean I'm gonna bet him because he's if he's 25 to 1, I'm not betting Alex Smalley.
Oh my god, Alex Smalley's gonna be 25 to 1.
He might be 25, 30 to 1. Although you know what, the odds are out. The odds are out. I'll have to go see what he is. But Matt McNeely number 2. I'm gonna guess when I rerun this that because I did this model before today's round. I'm gonna guess Matt McNeely is probably gonna leapfrog Alex Smalley in this if he even stays in the field.
He's not gonna stay in the field.
Yeah. There's Carson Young number 3, by the way, because I de-emphasize a lot of the around the green stuff, and he's really gonna pass ball.
None of these guys are bombers. Fucking Kitayama's a bomber.
Okay, Kitayama, Keith Mitchell, Eric Van Rooyen.
Bomber, and he's
Keith
a fucking
Mitchell
loser.
Keith Mitchell hits pretty far. Nikolai Højgaard.
Keith Mitchell needs to not be on anybody's model. You know why? Because he stinks. He's not good.
Steven Yeager, Sam Stevens, Kevin Roy.
Yeager's a bomber.
Yeah,
but Griffin
Kevin
isn't.
Roy
Paul
is a bomber.
I guess EVR's a bomber, air quotes. Putnam's not a bomber.
No, but Putnam has a pretty good track record in past Polym. This is an example of guys that, because there's going to be such a desire to bet guys with length, and you know what, the guy who wins this tournament probably is going to be a really good driver. Yeah. But there's a lot. I showed you a lot of leaderboards of guys that did not have length who just are really good on past Polym. So yeah. This is an interesting question, Dave. Why is Rasmus not in the top 20? Well, there's not a lot of data on him for the most part. I noticed that guys who don't have either they're just coming from the DP World Tour or they just don't have a lot of PG Tour data, they're not valued very high in this model. Also, if I'm using recent form, this includes Torrey Pines, and that's going to knock him like in the last 16 rounds. Yeah. So I can tell you, though, Rasmus is like 25th. So this is the thing about a model. Like, I'm pretty good at identifying why guys are certain places, and I can give him a pass.
Oh no! Why do you have Grayson Sig in the top 20?
Well, Grayson Sig is pretty good on past Polym.
I know. It's why I don't like that. Don't make me bet him.
I'm not. I may not make you bet him. So, but that's why Rasmus is not in the top 20. It does not mean I don't like him. It's probably more of a quirk with the inputs I'm using with bet spreads related to recent form and some longer term course condition stuff. I just don't think there's enough data on him to what I was doing to pump him up. That's it.
Okay.
So, that's it. So that's the model. It's gonna be a very interesting week. I can't wait to look at this odds board probably tomorrow and see what everybody opens up.
I've already seen. I've already seen what DraftKings put out. Somebody in the Discord put it out.
Yeah. Apparently, Alex Smalley is 45 to 1.
That's way more palatable than fucking 25.
Is it? I think that's disgusting.
Look at this fucking field.
I know that. It's Alex Smalley.
So if he's at 45, is Akshay going to be fucking? What is he?
Akshay's like 20. Akshay's like 22 to 1.
22. Where are they opening the board at then?
Do you want me to pull it up?
Nah, you don't.
I haven't looked yet because, let's put it this way: there's a lot of guys in Discord that want to bet this board immediately once on DraftKings, but there's like 5 other books that haven't released it yet that I want to see what their odds are first. So I'm never one to just load up on the DraftKings stuff because they're first. And generally, DraftKings doesn't have as great of odds as some other places.
Yeah, they're not as good as Hard Rock, and they're awesome odds because the Seminoles certainly aren't fucking criminals.
That's true. So, Mexico Open. So, Matt McNeely 12 to 1, Rasmus 17 to 1, Akshay 22 to 1, Sam Stevens 22-1, Kurt Kitayama 22-1, who's just been a big ball of disappointment this year.
Oh shit.
Yeah, bullshit. Steven Yeager 25-1, Patrick Rogers 25-1, Michael Kim 25-1, Taylor Moore 28-1, who apparently Andy ran into at a casino the other night. Take that for what you will. Harry Hall 28-1.
Wait,
Aaron Rye 30-1. Ben Griffin 30-1. What's that?
Is it Taylor Moore at the casino?
I don't know. I'll tell you one thing though. Nikolai Højgaard 50-1. I'll probably be interested in betting him.
Okay.
He showed a little bit at Phoenix.
Okay.
And he's more volatile than his brother, but they have the same attributes. And Højgaard's been really good.
I know. I like Nikolai better.
Nikolai has a higher ceiling.
Higher ceiling.
Rasmus, but a way lower floor.
That's
like
fine.
of the two, I could see Nikolai.
We're betting outright, Steve. We're betting outright. I want the ceiling. I don't give a fuck about your floor. Talladega Nights. If you're not first, you're last. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Third, fourth,
look. Rasmus is 17 because he did something at Phoenix and Pebble. I get it, but Nikolai's 50. I'd rather, if you're asking me to click either, it's Nikolai at 50.
Imagine betting
so that'll be on my betting card in some capacity. But yeah, otherwise, we'll see what else gets put out there. I will have we'll have our betting show on Tuesday nights.
Yep.
I'll talk about the weather. Spoiler alert, I looked at the weather report. It's basically hot and no wind.
Dome golf.
It's resort golf. It's not even, it's these guys suck, so they'll find a way probably not to get to like 23 under, but it's probably gonna be.
But they should. Yeah,
if someone's competent and they don't Jake Nap it like they did last year, somebody will probably get to like 22 under.
Nap at fucking 50 seems silly, right?
I mean, Nap played pretty good this week.
That's what I'm saying. It seems fucking silly.
Seems like he's playing pretty good this early part of the season. Yeah, if you want to bet him at 50, I'm not going to fight you. Honestly, there's not many guys I would fight you if you want to bet them in this field. Like, it's gonna be a lot of you're gonna say names and be like, yeah, sure,
exactly,
sure.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Fine,
yeah, fine, yeah, fine. So, I guess I don't hate it. Is what I always tell you. I don't hate it.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right, I got nothing else. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it, man. Fucking thank you, Ludwig. We appreciate it. You Swedish, handsome, Tom Brady looking motherfucker. We will be back on Tuesday for the betting show. And yeah, that's it, man. Back on Tuesday. See you motherfuckers then. Bye.